Why did I decide to do this to myself? On with the show. Hello, writers, readers, and everyone in between. My name is Des, also known as ZedCaster. If I seem any less enthused than I normally do, that is because I am. I'm hungover. But I have set today as the day I'm going to make this video for some reason. Why do I do this to myself? We are all very familiar with New Year's resolutions, and even more so with the lack of follow-through. And this is even more difficult for people with ADHD, thanks to executive dysfunction. But if you have a neuro-spicy brain, you are in the right place, my friend. So gather round, pull up a chair, grab a snacky and something to sip upon, especially if you are in the same boat I am, because I want to gift upon you some tips I have learned over the years to help you with accomplishing your goals this year of 2024. So, without any further ado, come along! We have a journey to take! When it comes to setting goals, it is usually in a moment of hyperfixation or when something shiny and new happens, like New Year's, because it's new. You'll set a goal on a good day with all the intentions of following through with it, only to forget about it the next day. And by the time you remember them, or find energy to follow through with them, you're halfway through March, and already well behind your set goals. And then you give up, because how are you supposed to meet your goal in such a short amount of time? You did this to yourself, you silly goose. Now you gotta remake all those goals and start over and first of all, stop that. Beating yourself up over self-imposed deadlines are not going to do you any favors. But having a forgiving mindset and a lenient time frame will. Each time you kick yourself for messing up something so simple only puts you further back from where you want to be. It's self-defeating, and having a neuro-spicy brain makes everyday tasks more difficult than they already are. So if you find you are comparing yourself to a neurotypical brain, stop that. You can't control your neuro-spicy brain any more than you can control the weather, but you can work with it. Tip number 2 is setting realistic goals. This goal seems pretty obvious, but let's just break it down a little bit further with our brains in mind. I don't know about you, but when I set about setting a goal, I make it a tad unreachable. Whether that's because I want to challenge myself, when I really shouldn't be because having ADHD is already challenging enough, or prove myself to who? Who am I trying to impress? Or to get to my goals faster? That one's next on the list. Whatever the reason, I usually end up screwing myself in the long run. This isn't to say you shouldn't set high goals, because you should. Reach for the stars and all that. But I'm talking about your expectations that you set for yourself on the way to reaching your goal. Because if we're going to be honest with ourselves, part of the joy of setting goals and reaching those goals is the journey to getting to the goals. I know that's corny, but hear me out. At the end of the day, your goals are meant to serve you, not hinder you. So when you're setting your goals, ask yourself why you're setting them in the first place. Is it a realistic path to reach your bigger goals? Or are you David walking in the Goliath's footsteps? Another thing to keep in mind here is if you set goals that are far too high, it's going to cause you more stress to actually work on them than it is going to bring you joy. And that's the best part of the process. It is about time for tip number 3. Sometimes I like to think I'm funny. Setting realistic timeframes for your goals go hand in hand. Certain challenges are not one size fits all. Personally, I like timeframes when I'm not careless about them, but I'm also the type to schedule out my days by hour. I like the structure. But my other neuro-spicy friends, yeah, they would have a panic attack if they try to do what I do. And if that's you, it might be better not to set a time frame at all. If a deadline is a stressful ingredient, don't put it in your coffee. That didn't make sense. What I mean is you wouldn't put sugar in your coffee if it ruined the flavor. So why would you put a timeline on your goal if it's going to ruin the journey of it? But if you do decide to set a time frame or a due by date to your goal, make sure it's with your best interest in mind. Because at the end of the day, these goals are self-imposed and they're not going to help you if they're causing you anxiety, which is why I tend to call them challenges rather than deadlines. Changing the wording may not sound very helpful, but it's the effect it has on our brains. For example, I am a highly competitive person, so I add components to my goals that are going to bring out my competitive nature in a way that's going to help me. For NaNoWriMo 2023, I didn't set my goal as reaching 50,000 words by the end of November. That I knew was going to be far too high for me, so I wasn't going to follow the normal path that most NaNoWriMers take. That was a weird word. My main goal instead was just to write every day, regardless of the amount. It could be 1 word, it could be 6,000 words. But it was a challenge because I hadn't been consistent with my writing up until that point. But at the same time, it wasn't so impossible that the goal towered over me. As long as I opened my manuscript for 5 minutes every day and I got at least a word down, I made my goal. And if you also have ADHD, you would know that once you start a task, it's a lot easier to continue doing the task. It's just the starting it that's the problem. I kept doing this well into December until I accidentally forgot day 37 and I said oops and started over. Now my new goal is to write at least 38 days in a row, if not more. Tip number 4 is breaking it down into smaller parts. After you've decided your goal, now it's time to fill in the gaps. Do you mean milestones? Nope, smaller. Quarterly goals? Even smaller. I'm talking weekly, if not daily goals. Let's say you want to finish your first draft. Doesn't matter when, you just want to finish it. If you're past the plotting phase, you should know how many words or chapters you're aiming for. So set the daily goal of, I will write 1 word a day. Great, super easy. Or you can go with the scene route. I will finish 1 scene a week. It's not so difficult that it's impossible to accomplish. In fact, it might be so small that you may look at it and be like, ha! I can beat this. I can do more. I can do 2 scenes in a week. Maybe even 3. Obviously, keep your ego in check, but the point here is to empower you to push through your goals and jump over the hurdles that your brain will very likely throw at you. Then once you set your mini goals, set up your goalposts. You've written your first 1,000 words, you've written your first chapter, you've written your first 10,000 words. Once you've divvied out the goalpost, give yourself rewards you get to look forward to. This is the best part. Obviously, you want to make them proportionate to how much work you put in and how far you've come, but the idea is to make them more exciting as they get bigger. You wrote your first scene, go grab that snack in the kitchen. Finished your first chapter? Heck yeah, it's sounding like a face mask and snacks and movie kind of night. Reward yourself at every benchmark and try to maintain a little bit of discipline so you don't reward yourself before you've earned it. People with ADHD have this problem a lot. Even so, if you have trouble with maintaining self-discipline, you can always get an accountability partner. Nobody says you have to do this all alone, especially if you have like a critique partner for your writing or if you're trying to go to the gym and you have a gym buddy. The point is that there's going to be people that are going to be going down the same path as you, the same journey, so why not buddy up and make it a lot easier on both of you? And before you say, but I don't have any friends to go to the gym with, I don't have anybody to be my critique partner, stop it, there's the internet. Find a friend. Get out of your comfort zone. We are at tip number 5, my friends, and that is enhancing your surroundings. I often find that just forgetting about the goal is what screws me. It's an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. This, of course, is enhanced by my ADHD, but most people would agree if you have something to look at every day to remind you of your goal, you're more likely to achieve it. So, set up a vision board. Make a custom alarm that's full of inspiring encouragement that's telling you to get out of bed, drink water, accomplish your dreams and your goals. Decorate your planner with reminders of what you're striving for. Put sticky notes on your bathroom mirror, your coffee maker, your cat. Okay, maybe not the cat, but I digress. Enhance your surroundings in a way that will make you excited every day about what it is you're aiming for. Another tip on this topic is keeping up with a novelty. Those with ADHD especially have a problem with this because as soon as the shiny newness of something wears off, we're bored. We don't want to do it anymore. Something I've learned to do is adding something to a vision board or to a planner, something that you're actively working on so that every time you either meet like a little mini goal or just every day, you can add to it so it's adding something new every single time you're working on it. That's going to keep the shiny newness and it's going to keep the novelty of it. I love stickers. So I put a sticker on my planner every day and my little vision board on my planner to help me stay focused, stay excited, and stay enticed by writing my book. And I also set that as a little mini goal. Every time I reach my little mini goal, I get to buy more stickers. I have one more tip for you. I know I said 5, I'm so generous. And that is to be patient. Yes, this goes back to tip 1, but I'm bringing it up again so that you have not forgotten in the time it's taken you to get to the end of this video. Finding what works for you is not going to be linear. It'll take time and patience. So don't forget to give yourself a little bit of grace on this journey. If you find yourself in a setback, leave the missteps in the past where they belong and take a new approach. Positive reinforcement is going to get you a lot farther than negative. This step may be a lot harder for some than others. And for those that feel this way, are going to need to be extra patient with themselves because they are likely facing multiple battles rather than one. And that, my friends, is all of the tips I have for you today. Hopefully this video has helped you create a foundation for you to make and build your goals off of. If you found this video helpful, feel free to leave a like, and if you have tips of your own, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. Who knows, maybe your tips can help other neuro-spicy brains like I hope I have accomplished here. Good luck setting your New Year's resolutions and goals. Make sure you are kind to yourself while doing so, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye! If I am any less enthused today, as you probably know me outside of... No, fuck. Okay. Oh, God, it's gonna take forever. My face looks so long in the viewfinder, bro. What the fuck? Okay, anyway. Okay. Whether that's because I want... Oh, excuse me. Something in my eye. Fuck! We are at tip number 5, my friends, and that is establishing your... Wait, what? And before you say, Zed? What's my name? I'm almost wondering if making the script was worse. If it might be easier to just have like little points.
Yeah.